loka samasta sukino bhavantu loka samasta sukino bhavantu.
This is our ultrasonic core energy balancing session. We begin by holding hands with the client, looking into their eyes, the windows of the soul, and acknowledging their divinity as we practice active listening and ask, how's your body?
My body's pretty good.
Body's pretty good.
As good as it gets sometimes.
As good as it gets sometimes.
I'm grateful.
I'm grateful. How are you doing emotionally?
Emotionally, I'm good. I'm feeling a little adrift today.
Emotionally good, feeling a little adrift today.
And wanting to wheel myself back in
Wanting to reel yourself back into gratefulness.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What's your intention for our work today?
Oh, I really want to benefit from the energy that you put into this session.
Oh, you really want to benefit
from
the work.
And it's an amazing session, I know, and I want to be open to it and receive all the good energy.
Great. Thank you. Would you lie on your back? So again, practitioners, before we touch the client, we want to establish our fulcrums feeling your legs like the roots of a tree going down into the earth, just breathing down through your legs, breathing up, centering that in your, just below your navel, Dantian, your fire center. Breathing from that fire center down into the earth. We are just part of this earth through our intention. We can align ourselves with the core of the mother. Now we align ourselves with the breath of heaven by, through our intention, focusing on the very core, the ultrasonic core of our own energy field. We bring our hands to our heart in a namaste and Anjali mudra as we focus on our compassionate intention and the realization that we're all one and that oneness is fully present. We move into our first cradle, which will be the quiet heart cradle, right hand over the left. Here the fingers come together at the occiput. The earth, water, and fire fingers cross over at the occiput. Now, once we do the core session, we don't have to take the pulses. The core session balances 3 pulses, ideally. And as we're holding this contact, we're making contact, where contact means being deeply, deeply present. To really make contact, you need to be present. Polarity is an inner approach to body work. It's not so much where your hands are at as where you're at, how deeply present you are. And the way that we cultivate presence is by really being in the presence of the life force energy, really being deeply present, tuning into that life force energy. So I'm going to establish a fulcrum, pressing the thin air eminence of my hands into the table so that I have a center, a fulcrum for tuning into the energy. And I want to be in the presence of the life force energy to just feel the rhythms of the breath in the tissue, feel the resonance of the heartbeat in the tissue. Maybe I'm feeling the fluid tide percolating or moving in the tissue somehow. Maybe I'm feeling energy unwinding, big circles of energy dancing, undulating, playing between my hands. We're always in the presence of the life force energy, deeply, deeply focused, because your most powerful energy is presence. Presence is the presence of the mystery. Presence is the discriminating wisdom, the self-organizing intelligence of the source. Again, in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, I am the knower of all fields. So this knower is the presence as a self-organizing intelligence in every atom, molecule, cell, and as the lucidity, the cognizance, the presence in you right in this moment. So we're deeply present in the contact. And I'm feeling some unwinding energy dancing from side to side, undulating, and as the energy field dances between my loving hands. I'm going to hang out here for a while, deeply present in the contact. And as we're holding this contact, it's valuable to do an invocation, invitation to higher intelligence. May I do an invitation to higher intelligence?
Invitation?
Invitation.
Yes, by all means.
Invocation. And yes, people are a little bit more open to an invocation to higher intelligence than a prayer. So you want to bring the client's intention into your invocation. Beloved great mystery of life and consciousness, thank you for this gift of life. Thank you for the way you live through everyone and everything. Thank you for hearing the prayers that are in Chela's heart for her wholeness and her well-being. Thank you for bringing Chela the insights, the guidance, the realization that she needs to be whole, at peace, and well in her body, heart, and mind. For her highest good, the highest good of all concerned, may thy will be done. Chela, if at any time anything that's happening here is too intense or in any way inappropriate for you, simply say, please stop. You're in control, and this is a safe space. So this is a quiet heart cradle. Index fingers are paralleling the carotid arteries, which allows you to radiate energy into the sympathetic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, to release the parasympathetic nervous system, to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So we're here, the index fingers parallel the carotid arteries, and as such are paralleling the vagus nerve to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm feeling a lot more coherence in the energy under my hands. So now I feel a sense of completion. And even if you're not feeling the energy, trust your intuition. As soon as you intuitively feel a sense of completion, gently move your hands, shake your fingers towards the earth, release any stagnant energy. And we're going to move into our second cradle, a quiet mind cradle. Here the skull will be cradled between the index and middle finger. The spine will be between the index and middle finger. Skull will be cradled. The left hand, the thumb will be on the fontanelle, 2 fingers on the third eye. So we gently cradle the head, cradle the skull. Thumb is on the fontanelle, midpoint, skull. 2 fingers at the third eye. The other fingers are stabilizing that. And we're very, very present in our hands, feeling the dance of life force energy between our loving hands. Now I'm deeply present in the contact, tuning into a dance of energy between my loving hands and this pulsing energy is radiating through this energy field, which we call the brain. And the hands are, again, a very sattvic, very pure field. It is purifying the energy field of the client. And I'm very present here. And when you feel more coherence or you intuitively feel a sense of completion, you can gently remove your hand, shake them off. Next, we go down to the feet. Because we're working with the core, with the sympathetic ganglion, the sympathetic nervous system is the embodiment of fire. We're going to be balancing fire by working with the sympathetic. So here we bring the ankles together And we look at the tips of the ankles and we see her legs are nicely balanced. So they're both the same length. Usually we begin the longest, the most relaxed leg. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. We do these stretches. Deep breath. So I tend to use my hip for this stretch, having the client breathe into the stretch. Deep breath. Then we're going to make a contact with the anterior tibialis, the most anterior of the tendons, and that's a reflex to the sternum. And again, I am the very heart of our energy field, and the FLH, flexor longus hallucis, which is below and behind the malleola. So here, we're present in these contacts as we do a wide, stimulating rotation, creating a fulcrum with our thumb and our fire finger. So it's a rotation in one direction, then stillness and presence, and a rotation in the other direction. Have the client breathe into the contact during the stillness, deep breath. Breathe right into my hands. Then again, rotation, Rajasic, clockwise, stillness, and I'm very present in the contact. Counterclockwise. So we're going to do 3 of these. Again, deep breath. And I'm very present in my fingertips, feeling for the energy. Even if you're not feeling the energy, your presence is your highest vibrational energy, and projecting your presence into the field is projecting source energy into the field. Deep breath. Counterclockwise. Again, with the right hand, I'm grabbing the ball of the foot. Left is on the anterior tibialis and the core reflexes. Then we move to the other leg. Stretch, deep breath. And release. Deep breath. And release. Here are the thumbs on the FLH. Index, middle finger are on the reflexes to the sternum at the anterior tibialis. Clockwise. Stillness, deep breath. I'm very present in the contact. Opposite direction. So everyone's going to be doing this a little differently, because the key thing is to put some fire, some positive energy into the negative field. It's though the feet are midnight and the hands are dawn. So you're putting this dawn energy into the midnight part of the field. So your energy is very, very pure, very, very coherent. We die first at the feet, the negative field. So here you're bringing the light of dawn into the darkness of Pisces. Deep breath. After we've done our rotations, we can start to work all the toes. We work from gross to subtle, working from the little toe to the big toe, the earth toe. In our understanding, each of these toes is the negative field reflex to one of the long currents emanating from the chakras. That this is a form of chakra balancing, and also you're working with the earth element throughout the whole body, with elimination, with boundaries, with grounding as you do this contact. Deep breath. And in stillness and presence, the power is in the presence and the stillness. Then we go to a water toe, pinching it side to side, working that water toe nice and rajasically. stretching the ligaments, the joints, and holding sophically as the client breathes out. You want to work as deeply as a client will let you work. Deep work at the feet is really life-giving. It's really, really valuable because, again, the energy tends to stagnate at the negative field, and there's no more negative field than the feet. So anytime you can get that energy moving at the feet, deep breath. When a toe cracks, that indicates that field is open, that long line current is open. Pierre Panetier, Dr. Stone's successor, would work with the toes until he got each of the toes to crack. That was a foundation of whatever else he was doing. Deep breath. The toes. So we're working the webbing between the air and ether toes. And then this is a core session, so we're going to do a lot of work on the etheric core. So here the big toe are, first of all, reflection to the sinuses, and then the pineal, pituitary, thyroid, thymus. So keep working here. These are reflexes to the cranial sutures along the top, and then the pineal, pituitary, thyroid, and thymus glands as you go down to the ball of the foot. So you want to work this toe pretty. You can come in closer for this. Yeah, just show the feet. So here, these are the reflexes to the cranial sutures, to the pineal, to the pituitary, to the thyroid, and to the thymus. You see, I'm working these. The core is the cause. Everything else is the effect. If you can get the energy moving here in the core, everything else will align itself. This is the cause. This is the nucleus. This is the organizing intelligence. The rest of the body is the effect. Deep breath. Now we're going to work on the reflexes to the sympathetic ganglion. Now, we're not working with reflexes to the spine, which would be midline. We're interested in the sympathetic ganglion, which are radiating from the spine, okay? Which are radiating laterally from the spine. So again, get your feet down really low, and we're going to use this thumb as a tool, and we're going to press in with our other fingers to get that reflex. Deep breath. And hold sophically as they breathe out. So we're working with all of the reflexes. Deep breath to the sympathetic ganglion. Push up and hold sophically as she breathes out. Clients, breathing into contact is fundamental. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. So you need to have no fingernails so you're not injuring the client with your fingernails. I feel like mine are a little sharp.
Thanks.
Deep breath. And then when we get to the heel is analogous to the sacrum. This is the fifth lumbar vertebrae. We're holding a contact from the fifth lumbar vertebrae to the third eye here. Deep breath. Radiating energy through that whole field. What are you experiencing in your body?
Oh, I'm sorry that you're talking to her.
No problem.
Feeling lightness,
Lightness.
opening up.
Opening up. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing on the spine reflexes on this side for our core session. So again, we're working here, and then we've been working that area, and now we're going to get in here and use this thumb as a tool. A deep breath, and we push up. Deep breath, push up. Deep breath, push up. And when we get down to the sacrum, we're holding a contact from L5 to the pineal gland. Deep breath, very present in our hands. Now we've done this gross contacts. Now we're going to do some subtle work by toning through the chakras. Again, feel your feet on the ground, relax your knees, center yourself low in your pelvis. Put the corresponding fingers on the corresponding toes: earth, water, fire, air, ether. And we're going to be toning through the chakras. So client and practitioner toning together. Root chakra, feeling our connection to the earth, focusing on the tip of the tailbone. The color is lava, and the tone is lam. Deep breath, second chakra. At the sacro-lumbar juncture, the color is flame, and the tone is vam. Deep breath. Third chakra, solar plexus, the color is luster, and the tone is ram. Heart chakra, color is emerald green, like the spring grass, and the tone is yam, sung in a higher octave. Throat chakra, the color is sky. I like the evening sky, lapis, with stars, gold, and flecks. And the tone is ham. Third eye, color is amethyst, tone is sham. The ka is silent. Then we infuse the body with the blessings of the pranav, the omkar. Deep breath, shake your fingers off. We're going to have the client lie on their left side in a fetal position. Now here we begin this really powerful transformational, what we call perineal therapy, and we begin the release of the holding in the pelvic girdle and perineum. You want to ask the client's permission. They make a contact on your buttock.
Yes.
Okay. And so we're going to first feel the gluteal cleavage, and we're going to use our fire finger and rest it on the gluteal cleavage. Now, you're never making a contact midline. They're on the superficial muscles, which are lateral to the reproductive organs and anus. So you can be on anywhere in this area as long as you're lateral here on these buttock muscles. So here, your fire finger, you always want to have your right hand here so you have a scattering hand because it's a source of tremendous elimination. If you have your left hand, it'd be bad psychic protection. It'd be taking in some of the energy that you're scattering. So here we're using our yang, a really fiery finger, resting it on the perineal diaphragm. And here with our left hand, we're making contacts on either side of the spine at the occiput. So here we're on either side of the spine at the occiput, holding these powerful reflexes to release the holding in the sympathetic nervous system. Deep breath, breathe right into your perineal floor. Deep breath. Deep breath. And on deeply contact in, deeply present in the contacts, feeling the dance of energy between the occiput and the perineal diaphragm. Not yet. Deep breath. I'm starting to feel a pulse between the two fields. Now I'm going to move my thumb to the navel. Client, if you like, you can show me your navel if I'm missing it. Okay. Moving the thumb to the navel. Increasing the pressure on the perineum slightly, and I'm pulsing rajasic energy into the navel. Deep breath. Breathe from your navel through your pelvis down to your heels. And again, we're toning with the tone ah. Deep breaths from your navel, breathe through your pelvis down your heels. And we're starting to feel the softening, starting to feel release in the perineal diaphragm. And one last time. Deep breath. Now you hold this contact until you feel a profound release in the perineal diaphragm. You want to hold it until it goes from feeling tense with stagnant energy until it becomes soft and supple, until it really melts under your fingertips. So what I'm feeling right now is I'm starting to feel some unwinding and a pulse, and the field collapsing and becoming soft and fluid under my fire finger. Deep breath. Breathe through your perineum down to your heels. Let's tone one last time. Deep breath. Sometimes this will be burning hot as the resistance is released from the field. Burning hot. Deep breath. And you should feel a nice strong pulse. This is a strong pulse, is a therapeutic pulse, which just breaks through the resistance, and that resolves into a softer, more coherent pulse. Then we'll hold the contact at the knee. Again, the perineal diaphragm is the negative field of the torso, and the negative field reflects to the thoracic diaphragm. So we're holding the knee, which is an important reflex to the thoracic diaphragm as well. Deep breaths, releasing your perineum down to your knee. And then we're going to breathe from the perineum right down to the ankle. So you're holding this contact at the FLH. A couple deep breaths. And you should feel a profound softening in the perineal diaphragm. It's gone from being tense to being just soft and fluid and vibrant. Deep breath from your perineum down to your heels. What are you experiencing in your body, Chela Bear?
Well, I was having a lot of pain when I first got into this position.
Yeah.
In my left leg.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's fine.
Great. So I'm just holding this for a while, letting the field establish itself. Shake my hands off. Very important. Shake your hands off. You're going to need to really wash your hands after this session because you're facilitating a lot of energetic release. Now the hand goes on, right hand on the crest of the ilium. The left hand on the spinal accessory nerves here at the trapezius. And it's a gentle rocking. The right hand can go on the sacral parasympathetic nerves, which are on the lateral margin of the sacrum. The left hand is on the spinal accessory nerves, and it's a rocking with an emphasis on stillness and presence. Can you see how this is the contact that I showed you on the chart? Here we are on the spinal accessory nerves, and here we are on S2, 3, and 4 on the lateral margin of the sacrum, working with the underlying polarity, the underlying energy dynamics to balance and just activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Rajasic and then sattvic, deeply present. Now, when you're working with the core energy, you only need to work on one side of the body. So doing this here on the right side of the body will balance this energy on both sides of the body. So I'm feeling some unwinding here, a dance between the two fields, and I'll hang out here until it becomes more coherent. Let's tone into your acetabulum now with the tone Ah, nice yang tone that resonates with the nervous system. Deep breath. One more time. Deep breath. Now, it's very important to work with your comfort level with your client. So not all clients, so this is a professional training. So you want to drape your client and they're going to be removing their clothing from their upper torso, lying on their belly so you can work on their spine. We hold the draping and let the client take off their clothing from the upper torso. This is called prone, isn't it? Yeah. We have the client prone. And then we're going to put a little bit of oil on their spine and on our elbow. So the client's prone. And we're going to put a little oil on the client's back. So realize that we are interested here. We're not working on the spine. You can injure someone by working directly on the spine, putting pressure directly on the spine. That we're interested in the lamina groove, which are next to the spine. Okay, so here's the midline of the spine, and here's the lamina groove. Lamina are the wings of the vertebrae. We have a nice groove here, and then this is the sacrosatic notch. So we're going to put some oil here on the lamina groove so that we can slide down here without any irritation. And then we're going to put the remainder of that on our elbow. So here again, we're going to ask the client's permission to make a contact on the buttock. You're going to feel the gluteal cleavage, and your right thumb is going to be on the right buttock, with your line of force going towards the ganglion of impair here at the coccyx. With your left elbow, we're going to first make a contact beginning here and working alongside the lamina groove, asking is anything painful as we do this contact. Very light contact, making sure. And if anything is painful when we do the deeper contacts, we will just lighten up. When the elbow gets to the sacroiliac notch, use your thumb and elbow to do a wide rocking as the client breathes out. So this is a really amazing contact, releases the earth chakra. The guilt, the shame, fear, terror. Same thing on this side. Tell me if anything is sensitive. And if any area is sensitive, you'll lighten up. So now you see this elbow is a reflex to the fire center, reflex to the navel, and a powerful fiery field that emanates that can break up stagnant energy. And we're dealing with the sympathetic nervous system, which is the embodiment of fire in the body. So now we're going to tone together, blind practitioners. We go down the spine very slowly. Deep breath. Wide, slow rocking. And that's where you start to feel the release in the perineum, in the perineal diaphragm, under the tailbone. Deep breath. Is during this wide, slow rocking. Now you go to the other side of the spine. Deep breath. When you get down to the sacroiliac notch, use the elbow and thumb. Wide, slow rocking as the client's breathing out. Wide, slow rocking with the breath. Deep breath. And you should feel a nice release with the breath. One more deep breath. So now I'm starting to feel some burning under my thumb, which is the stagnant energy at the root chakra being released. Again. Wide, slow rocking as the client breathes out. And you're going way up as deep as you can. Your tension's at the tip of your thumb, feeling for the holding being released at the ganglion of impair. Deep breath. Again, your hands are the most physical expression of your source energy. And the thumb, which resonates with this core energy, and so we're very neutral core energy. This contact's right up at the ganglion of impair, right up under the coccyx, releasing that holding. Deep breath. Remember those charts I was showing you of the sympathetic nervous system? Now we make a contact to the negative field reflexes of the sympathetic nervous system, which are at the Achilles tendon. So we're holding tip of the tailbone, or we're holding under the tailbone, ganglion of impair area to the Achilles tendons, reflexes, and you're feeling a nice unwinding between the two as we tone. Deep breath. Breathe from your tailbone down to your heels. Toning again. Deep breath, deep breath. Then we hold the contact from the tailbone to the third eye, toning with the tone ah. Feeling a lot of energy between the two fields. Nice unwinding here at the perineum. And again, toning again. Deep breath. A lot of unwinding, big dance of energy between the third eye and the perineum. It's softening now, becoming more coherent. Heat being released at the third eye. What are you experiencing in your body?
Feeling a lot of feeling release, feeling power.
Release, power. Mm-hmm. So now we're doing a contact called the six-pointed star, really powerful contact. So you have the client's head facing towards you. You're feeling the hold. You're taking the tips of your fingers and feeling the holding in the trapezius. Shoulders are biggest positive field of the body. The hips are in a polarity relationship as a negative field. Now we begin using the elbows to stimulate. So we're on the 11th cranial nerve, the spinal accessory nerves here at the trapezius. And here we're on the reflexes here at the lateral margin of the sacrum, S2, 3, and 4. So here we're on the reflexes to the parasympathetic nervous system to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. So we stimulate down here, then we get very present in my fingers. We say, let go, really speaking through your fingertips to the underlying tissue. So deep breath. Oh, let go. Sometimes these shoulders will be just really hardened. The right side, unexpressed anger, frustration, fear. Left side, burden, responsibility. Then we move into the buttock, and it's a wide spiraling until you feel heat being released in the buttock. And then fingers up above saying, let go, let go, let go. Let the client do the work with their breath, breathing out. Then the actual release comes when you put your thumb's going to go into the crest of the ilium. The fingers are going to go into the acetabulum. Going to be a wide, slow rocking of the hip. Wide, slow rocking of the hip while the client breathes out. Deep breath, wide, slow rocking of the hip. But you're very present in your fingertips, and the shoulders just melt. The whole field collapses, all the tension and the holding just dissolves, and the shoulders become just fluid with energy. Then you're going to move to the other side. Client turns her head the other direction. You really feel the holding with your fingertips. Now we're going to be stimulating the lateral margin of the sacrum. S2, 3, and 4. So here we're holding this polarity relationship from the spinal accessory nerves, positive field of the parasympathetic nervous system, to S2, 3, and 4, the sacral parasympathetic nerves. Deep breath and let go. So you're very present in your fingertips, speaking to the tissues, speaking to the intelligence, saying, let go, let go, let go. Everything is made of intelligence. You are not a meat suit. Your body is not a meat suit. Your body is a field of cognizance, fields of intelligence. The physicists talk about everything as space. The space is actually cognizance. Then we go into the buttock, and it's a rocking, spiraling contact in the buttock until we feel some heat being released in the buttock. And then deep breath and let go, let go, let go, let go. Deep out breath. Oh. Thumb goes into the crest of the ilium, fingers go into the acetabulum, wide rocking here. But while we're doing that, all of our presence is up here in our fingertips saying, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. Deep breath. Oh. Deep breath. What are you experiencing in your body?
Relaxation.
So if you're a massage therapist, this is the easiest way to get those shoulders to really release. So you're going to hold the draping for the client and have them turn over. Can you turn over? Oh, I guess I'm not holding it draped enough. Okay. Now we're doing a really powerful contact. We've released the holding in the perineal diaphragm and sacrum. We've released the holding in the sympathetic ganglion. All of this inhibiting the fluidity and mobility of the sacrum and of the vertebrae. You're only as young as your spine. Now we're going to do an AO, atlanto-occipital release. So here you're on the side of the table. You bring the client's head away from you. So here you're going to support, let the table support your hand, and then let your fingers support your thumb. And you're just going to be creating a fulcrum here at your thumb. And the line of force is going to be across the thumb, so the thumb goes under the occiput to release the holding at the atlas. So here the thumb is going to be at the third eye. The right thumb's at the third eye. The left thumb is going to be at the AO, and we're going to be toning very slowly into this field. So you're going to very slowly bring the head towards you as you feel the softening in the AO. You want to be pressing down slightly. And you're very, very present in the side of your thumb, left thumb, very present the side of your left thumb, which is going up under the occiput to release this holding at the atlas. So the tone is ah. Deep breath. So that your thumb is getting up there and your line of force is under the occiput towards the atlas. And here you're pressing down with your third eye. I'll do it one more time. And as you feel it release, you turn the head into the tension and just feel the tension dissolve under your thumb. Good job, good job, good job. Deep breath. Good. Deep breath. And what are you experiencing in your body?
Peacefulness.
Now we move to the other side. Take your fingers off, come to the other side. And again, you're not at the head of the table, you're off to the side of the table. Have the client turn their head away from you and use your shoulder for support. You can use your hand for support, and the thumb is going to move. Now, you're not up in here. There's a kill point. You want to be careful not to be up in there. You're following the skull down to the spine, and you're at the spine, right at the occiput, right at the, and the side of the thumb is, line of force is towards the atlas. Left thumb's on the third eye, and we begin to turn towards you with the and we begin to rotate the head into the thumb. Very slowly as we feel it relaxing. We can do this a couple of times until we get a nice softening. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Deep breath. Good. So I'm just holding this. I'm feeling a nice strong pulse as the field unwinds.
You feel any softening?
Yeah, it's happening. There's a nice strong pulse here. Deep breath right from the occiput down to your pelvis. One more deep breath. Again, as the atlas realigns itself, there's spontaneous self-corrections of the vertebrae, sacrum. The whole cerebrospinal fluid can self-correct as you release this deep, deep holding. And again, we've been working on an energetic system here where we release the holding in the perineal diaphragm, release the holding in the tailbone, release the holding of the sympathetic vertebrae, the sympathetic ganglion, and now we're releasing the holding at the north pole contact, the north field contact of the sympathetic ganglion here at the occiput and under the atlas. Gently remove your hands. We come to the client's head. Here we're doing a really wonderful contact called a North Pole stretch. We're going to bring the heel of the hand right to the occiput, and as the client breathes in, we're going to use this contact to just do a nice stretch of the whole spine. So first you're going to make sure nothing is too painful, and you'll do a light contact. So you hold the head down with the left hand, catch the occiput in the heel of your right hand, deep breath. Is that painful?
No.
Okay. So now you want to see the client's toes move as you do this. Deep breath. And let go. Let the client do the work by breathing in, holding that breath, expanding the vertebrae from inside. Deep breath. So as I'm doing this, I'm rolling my wrist from a 90-degree, pulling the occiput, holding the head down, getting a nice stretch. It goes all the way down the spine. Deep breath. And now, ideally, we would tone through the chakras again. Deep breath. We finish with a form of chakra balancing. Our cradle is sage of old, earth fingers at the jaw, water fingers at the lips, fire fingers at the base of the nose, air fingers at the third eye, thumbs midline. Cradle of the sages of old, a form of chakra balancing in the microcosm of the face. And we all the sattvic contact here. So this session initiates a process of unwinding and balancing that can go on for 2 or 3 days. Pay particular attention at sunrise and sunset, these still points, and over the next 48, 72 hours, there should be a real shift from having the client's life run by negative and unconscious forces, instinctual negative and unconscious forces, fear and negativity, place where they've been stuck, into a new season of their life, one inspired by higher intelligence and deep states of relaxation and well-being. As part of this shift in consciousness and this movement from sympathetic activation, fight or flight, into parasympathetic activation of rest and relaxation and well-being. Every cell of the body is a well to being, that when the field is coherent, we experience what we call great fullness. We feel wonderful, that this is your natural state, feeling grateful and wonderful. And this energy balancing provides a profound state of coherence in the macrocosm and in the microcosm of every atom of the body. So you can be feeling grateful, filled with the greatness that you are when you're connected to yourself. Wonderful, filled with the wonder that you are when you're connected to yourself. So thank you very much for your focus and attention. It's my blessing to share this profound application of traditional wisdom of Ayurveda and traditional wisdom of Bharat, ancient India, to this modern technique of polarity energy balancing. God bless. Om Namah Shivaya.